All right.
And there's also, there'll be a few people dropping in as we go along here.
All right. Thank
But,
you.
We'll move from that. But Barbara, if you want to start the meeting, that'd be great. Thank you.
You're ready?
Yes.
Let's have a little more noise. Welcome. I'm Barbara Mueller, the president of this illustrious Rotary E-Club of World Peace. We are an E-Club, and if we invite you to join us any Tuesday night at 6:30, just let Rudy know, give him an email. And you know, if you are a Rotarian, you have this issue. This is the Rotary issue of March this year. And in the middle of the magazine on page 29, Living the Dreams, an article about our speaker tonight, President-elect Shekhar Mehta. When you look at this article, what does it say? Living the dreams. And to me, that's what our Rotary is about, bringing dreams to reality. When I was at the United Nations with my husband, I often would run into something that Eleanor Roosevelt said, and she said this: for all of us, as we grow older, perhaps the most important thing to keep alive, our love for others, and to believe our love and interests are as vitally necessary to them as are our dreams. This is what makes us keep growing and fulfills our fountain of energy to fulfill more dreams. And as I read his article, I kept thinking about what Robert said. Have those dreams and make them so big that somebody will want to help you accomplish them. And then he said, even if you die with your dreams unfulfilled, there's an energy that lasts beyond you. And that's when dreams become fulfilled. Tonight, Brian Berman told me about his visit to the Meditation Mountain Ojai, and he said that they were celebrating their 50th anniversary, and he went to the Bench of Dreams. Everybody should have a bench of dreams. Dream those dreams and sit on your bench until you realize that they can come true. That's about my whole goal tonight, is to have us believe in our dreams, because dreams are what make our world positive and peaceful. And with that, I'm going to let Rudy start our meeting, because we have so much we want to ask our president, and we want to make sure that we have time for that.
No.
Again, welcome.
Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome everybody tonight. We won't go through everybody's on here because we have a pretty good crowd joining us tonight. Probably because we have an illustrious speaker joining us tonight, and just a great man and a great humanitarian with us tonight, speaking to us. And so please, a couple things tonight. I want you all to please mute yourselves and make sure we don't get any background noise in here. If you have questions or comments, post those in the chat box, And at the end of the presentation tonight, I'll select questions out of there to ask of our president-elect, and those that aren't able to be answered, I'll put those together from the chat box and email those off so we can get some answers to those later. But please have the etiquette and sit back and enjoy and learn tonight. I have the great honor of introducing the fourth Rotary International president from India, and who will start here in a few months. Born in Calcutta, and quite accomplished. He heads the Skyline Group in real estate in different parts of India, and the largest group housing in the state. He's done a variety of things. He's a trustee of the Operation Eyesight. And I want to talk more about his service. I could go down through his Rotary experience, but that's the man, the person is really about his dedication to service, which is, he'll talk about his theme tonight. In his work, constructing 500 homes for tsunami survivors, starting a shelter kit project in India, serving in 20 disasters that have helped 75,000 disaster victims. He started a little pediatric health surgery program that today has become a national program. He conceptualized and developed the Teach Literacy program in India, reaching out to 50,000 schools and more than 15 million children. This is a man who has tremendous dreams, thinks big and does big. He put together an e-learning program for millions of children through television channels that's going on now in India. He's an architect of the Rotary Total Literacy Program of India. He's set up more than 15 eye hospitals, doing nearly 50,000 eye surgeries. Can you imagine? And he started a scholarship program for marginalized children. The list goes on and on of the things that this man has dedicated his life to make a difference. He's a husband to Rashi. She's a social worker and a stage artist. He's a father to Chirang and Geta, a grandfather to Veer. He recently, and I'm sure those are very dear to his heart, his family, close and dear to him. He recently was awarded an honorary Doctor of Literature degree from the IIS University. Shekhar Mehta, our next Rotary International president, is a Rotarian's Rotarian with service deep into his heart, is who he is and what he does. And so, Shekhar, please take it away and welcome to our club.
Thank you. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you, Barbara, for that warm welcome on a warm morning here in Calcutta. It's great to be with you. I was seeing, I know half the people here, and I know how passionate each of you are about peace. And I tell you, I've learned, I had my own thoughts about peace. I've learned so much more from each of you that I've come across. And I'm sure together we'll do a lot. We'll give a big push to the issues on peace, on what we think is peace, positive peace, issues about not having nuclear weapons. And I see so many people here, and suddenly Richard gives me a smile there. It's great to see all of you. Very nice morning I'm having here. I'm meeting so many people who are so concerned about bringing peace into this world. And to me, if there are people, I've said this so many times, if there are people in this world who bring peace, it is people like Rotarians. Not just Rotarians, but anybody who's helping somebody else to have a peaceful life, to bring happiness in somebody else's life, is actually working towards peace in this world. Stopping a war, that may not be your and my job and may not be possible for us. But bringing permanent peace, positive peace, of course is. So today, I've been given only a short list of things that I need to cover when I'm speaking. It covers only about 8 to 10 points. No, 6 or 7 points. I'll try to do some justice to that. The first is serve to change lives. I think Rotary gives us that great opportunity to be able to change lives of other people. Very few other organizations would have been able to give that. At least to me, I joined Rotary when I was just 25 years old. Service, very frankly, was the last thing on my mind at that time. My life was comfortable. I didn't know what the pains or the problems or travails of other people were. Till one day, my Rotary Club took me 50 kilometers away from my home. And they took me to a village where I saw people had no toilets at their homes. 50 homes in that village, not a single one had a toilet in their homes. The water they drank, the unfiltered water that they drank, came from the same pond where nearly half the village bathed. The only school the children had seen was under a tree. rain, sunshine, that was the school for them. And that black charcoal painted wall was the only blackboard they had ever seen, those children. And I realized this world was divided into two parts. People who have a lot and people who do not. And it's our responsibility to try and see that we change the lives of people who have less. For what is taken for granted for you and me is a dream for them. I go out to my washroom, and if I don't get hot water, I don't feel nice about it. Here, there are tens of thousands of villages, they don't have a tap in their home. We need to change their lives. I've been working on the heart surgery program. Each time a child comes, and I've done this for days on end for years. Each time I entered my office every day, I would find two children, one child sitting with the parents in the waiting area. And the first thing I remember, even before I started doing any of my work of my business, my first job would be to meet these parents of these children. And I could see these parents wait for 9 months for their bundle of joy to arrive. They get ecstatic when that child comes. But soon they find the boy turning blue, and they realize this is a blue baby. It's got a hole in the heart. It pierces a hole in their hearts. Not to mention about the hole it pierces in their pockets. I've come across at least 2,500 such parents, and I tell you, not a single one of them earned enough to get the surgery done. Forget earned enough, even if they did not spend a single penny over the next 3 years of their earnings, they would not be able to get the surgery done. But you cannot save every penny that you earn. So it would take them probably 5 years to gather that sort of money to get a surgery done. But the child won't live for 5 months, forget 5 years. And that's when you do that heart surgery for that child and you bring peace in this entire family. You change their lives forever. Imagine if anyone in our families got a heart disease, a major heart disease, and imagine we did not have the money to get the surgeries done. And the state does not give you the money to do the surgery. You have no insurance. Where would you go to? You would go to people who are ready to change your lives, and that's when you go to Rotarians. Coming to various things that we can do. And while we in my country, we have so many reasons to be able to change their lives because the population is big, the government is trying its best, but probably not enough. So the civil society needs to step in, and there is great opportunity for civil society to be working there. But maybe not in your backyard. There may be some issues. I would say it's very important that we look at our backyard. Are there some needs? Are there some people who are not as fortunate as these people, 77 of us who are on this meeting today? If there are such people, is there a way we can help and change their lives? And if there is no need there, then the world is your backyard. The world has really shrunk because of this COVID issue. We all are so well connected. I am with you now. In a little while, I may be somewhere else in Asia. During the day, I can be in Europe. In the evening, I can be in Korea, and then back to the US, maybe just in 1 day's time. So your club itself is an example. The name is E-Club of World Peace. So you're not just thinking of something in your community, but you're thinking about the world. And that's what our backyard today is. That we should be able to change lives of people across the world. So if you do not have enough reasons to change lives in your backyard, please go and do so in Africa, do so in South America, do so in some country in Asia. There are still people, I tell you, in African villages where women have to walk kilometers to just get a bucket of water, just one bucket of water, for which for you and me is just a matter of opening a tap. Children still need to go to good schools. And all of this you and I can do by serving, helping them, by changing their lives. The other very important thing we can look at is empowering girls. That's one of the focus areas for the next year. That's the overarching theme that we're going to work on. Even in today's days and times, girls across the world, in every part of the world, one way or the other, they are either discriminated or disadvantaged. I think it's time that Rotary started making a little noise about it. At the end of 1 year, if we have been able to make a lot of noise and bring attention, not only of every Rotarian in the world, but even to the people around us, I think we would have served our purpose. We would have started on a journey which is so very important. We talk of DEI. Where is the equity and where is the inclusion? If the girls are disadvantaged, and we'll have to help them in different ways, different areas, whether it is education. In each of our 7 areas of focus, there is some element where we find that we can have something for the girl. For example, in education, I'm aware in India and in Africa, by the time the girl reaches grade 10 or even grade 8, 9, 10, nearly 40% of them drop out of school. Now, that's not a good thing at all. That girl has a right to complete the studies, go even beyond school, complete graduation, and we need to help. So can we sponsor these girls so that they can keep going? And let me tell you, this problem is going to become bigger and bigger because of the pandemic. People will have lesser to earn. Families will want, if they have 2 children, they will want, in some parts of the world, many parts of the world, they will want the boy to go to the school and not the girl. That needs to change. But they may not have enough money to send 2 children back to school, and they somehow a mental frame that no, we will send the boy and not the girl. And you may find this very strange, but I'm telling you, I go 50 kilometers away from my city and I'll find the situation in India itself. I'll find this in Nepal, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. I'll find this in so many countries in Africa. So can we sponsor that girl to go back to school or not drop out of school? Can we give her some incentives? Maybe a bicycle to go back and forth to her school. Maybe a solar lantern, because there are still areas where there are children who have no electricity at their homes. How will they study at the evening times when they have to at their homes? How about skilling girls, giving them a skill, giving them a fishing net and not giving the fish every day? Let's empower them. There are so many ways that we could do that. Even on their health issues, a very small thing and very easily doable thing is talking to them about their menstrual hygiene management. I mean, a simple thing like $3, just $3 to $4 can get them reusable sanitary pads for 2 years for one girl. And it costs only $4, I tell you. And then in Africa and other parts of the world, which are, I mean, in the deep, not in the urban area, but in the rural areas, the scenario is pathetic. The awareness is bad about menstrual hygiene management itself. Girls die. And we can help them. You could, in your area, I do not know what the issues would be, but there are, because the task force that I formed for this is headed by somebody from the US. The other people on that committee are from Europe, from Canada, one from India. So empowering girls is going to be an issue that we would want, all of us want to see that there is a focus on. And to bring focus on empowering girls, there are going to be, not only on empowering girls, but on all the areas of focus, there are going to be 7 presidential conferences. across the world. And I encourage you to please attend them, because to me, each of these conferences is a culmination into peace. When we talk of water sanitation, imagine a village where there is total lack of water. The land is parched, and Barbara and Richard, maybe your clubs go and start a borewell project there. When the water gushes out, when the project is ready, water gushes out there. Imagine what happiness it brings. Imagine what peace it brings to the men and women in that area. To me, everything that we do in the areas of focus is bringing peace. You build a toilet. At my own club, I've built 7,000 toilets. Over the last 6 years, 7,000 individual toilets have been built. Where were the women going when there were no toilets? Into the open. Imagine what at cost of their modesty. So is that not peace? Can any of us think of living without a toilet even for a day? And here they have spent nearly 3/4 of their lives without a toilet. And then you give them a toilet. I call them Taj Mahals, Their homes, even today, are mud-built homes, thatched roofs, and next to that, we build these concrete, beautiful-looking toilets. They look like Taj Mahals in comparison to their homes. And that is the importance of those toilets in their lives. So please attend these conferences wherever you can. We'll try and see that many of them are hybrid. At least 4 of them I'm aware. 5 of them out of the 7 are going to be one of the areas of focus they'll work on is environment. Then there are others. There are on economic community development, literacy, and on health and other issues. And the last one, I definitely want each and every one of you to attend, because that is on peace. And that's going to take place at Houston. To me, that's going to be the culmination of all the 7 areas of focus, all the other conferences coming there. And that's one place where we're going to discuss peace. We'll discuss positive peace. We'll discuss, we'll make Rotarians aware that they have a role to bring peace in this world, and that they are doing it and maybe not realizing it. So when you've been working, each one of you has been working for polio, you are working towards world peace. Absolutely. And let me tell you, you'll be happy to know that before 31st of January, which was the last date for filing nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize. And that was the first question I was asked when I was being interviewed for the president. What would you want? Where would you want to see Rotary? And I had said I would want to see Rotary get nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I'm happy to tell you, for their work in polio, 50 different nominations from 30 different countries have gone for Rotary to be nominated this year for the polio, for the World Nobel Peace Prize. Whether we get it or not is not in our hands, but we can take, we can be very happy to know that 50 very eminent people, right from heads of states to Nobel laureates to senators to lords, each of these people, to university professors, to ex-Nobel Prize winners, all of these people have recommended, because they found that the work that we do under polio itself is so huge. So my request is, please be at Houston, because each of you will love what the content there is. Many of you, I'm sure, will be requested to play a part in either organizing or participating in it. I'm also quite keen that in the coming year, we give a big push to our relationship with United Nations. I think one area where probably Rotary needs to give a big push is to create our brand as people who are actually bringing peace into this world. it's important. We should be seen as peace harbingers. One program of ours, which is polio eradication, we saved 19 million children from either getting paralyzed or dying. That's as good as avoiding a mini world war. And for doing this, we had to immunize billions of children, not just one time, multiple times. No small task. It's taken us 34 years. How many organizations doggedly are at one program? And I'm just talking of one program. I'm not even talking of our global grants, matching grants, peace fellows. Just one program of polio eradication. This is the sort of work that has happened. And I think it needs to be recognized by the United Nations. I would love to see that there is a representative each year from from Rotary, who's invited, not who tries to be there, but is invited to be at the General Assembly of the United Nations and asked to speak there. Similarly, at the World Economic Forum, I mean, we are doing meaningful work in this world. Probably we make a mistake of not collecting our data well. So we think we are only a $400 million organization because that's the value of the work that we do under the Rotary Foundation. But that's only probably 10, 12, outer limit 15% of the work that we do. We are surely a $2 billion organization. That's the sort of value of work we do each year. So we have a reason to be invited to World Economic Forum. So these are places where I think if any of us has connections where we can help out, we need to do that. I've been speaking to John Hugo and saying that this is the path that we would want to take. I'm going to be president only for 1 year, and so will be Jennifer. But John Hugo is there for a fairly longer period, temporarily at least. Even if he's there for 15 years, he's already there for now more than 10 years. Suppose he's there for 15 years, then why should he not be the face of Rotary there rather than the president? He's going to be there for the next year and the year thereafter, or whoever is the general secretary. I'm just going to be there for 1 year. So it's important that we build those relationships where our brand is recognized, where people think, okay, these are people who just do not go for lunches. These are people who are really interested in making this world a better place to live in. And I strongly believe we are people who are changing lives of people. And I think the world also should be looking at us with that lens. They do in some parts of the world. Back home in India, huge respect for the work that Rotary does. That's also because of the scale of work that we are doing. That's very important also. Our work in a focused way on a big scale is going to create so much. And being able to compile what we have done, to measure what we have done, and be able to tell the impact that we have had. I think these are some of the important things that we need to do. And I alone cannot do it. We all need to put in our bit to be able to do that. So in the end, I would just like to end with what I had said at the International Assembly in the opening speech that I had given. I had said about changing lives, that the biggest gift we are given is the power to touch a life, to change, to make a difference in the circle of life. If we can reach out with our hand, heart, and soul, the magic will begin to happen as the wheel begins to roll. Let's turn the wheel together so all humanity thrives. We have the power and the magic to change lives. Thank you.
Thank you. That's beautiful. And thank you for sharing with us in your ideas and your theme, your conferences. We'll be part of that, and I'm sure we're working right now already to figure out how we pack the house from our club, but also District 5330 in Houston, and celebrate at the end of your year. On the one of your objects or goals is to actually move the needle on membership in a major way this next year. How can we help you, or how do you see our clubs helping grow that number?
I'll show you how. I'll not just answer, I'll show you how. Okay, friends, all we need to do, I've been saying each one bring one and we will reach 1.3 million. It is as simple as that. It is as difficult as that. We've not been able to do it in the last 20 years, and I want to get it done in the next 15 months. The people say that's crazy. I say, so crazy was eradicating polio 35 years back. Imagine that bunch of people who had the courage to say we will eradicate a disease from the face of earth. Look where they are. Look where we are. This, this, even this is going to be possible. The polio vaccine took 23 years to make. The one for Ebola took 5 years to make. But the COVID vaccine came out in just 9 months. What took 23 years earlier takes 9 months only now. What has not been possible in the last 20 years will be possible in the next 15 months. But each of us has to play up. You do that small bit and leave the rest to the board, to the president, somebody who's made that big claim that we'll reach 1.3 million. Let that 1.3 million be my responsibility. Yours is only to get one member. So let's see how many of you in the next 15 months will be able to get just one member into it. Just one. Can I see a raise of hands? How many of you can get just one member to Rotary? So Rudy, are you getting your answer?
Yeah. We've
Okay,
got,
just take,
yeah, in this,
just take a picture. My phone is full of pictures of people. Okay, let's do it once more. Let me take a picture. Wow, wow, this looks great. And
Raise
who
your-
says membership in America is not rising or will not rise?
it's
It
right.
will rise.
It,
All we need to do is let membership be individual responsibility, not the club's responsibility, not the district's responsibility. It's Richard Denton, David Wake, Warren Banks, Barbara Mueller, Arthur, John German, Jack, Anne Fresh, all of our responsibility. We need to do our bit, and that 1.3 million will be good.
no, that's great. We, our club is maybe, I know it's the fastest growing club in our district, probably the zones on the West Coast over here. And Barbara set a goal this year to reach 100, and we went from 55 to 75 already. So we will continue that role, and David Wick is our president next year, and continue on there. So we are focused on there as well as creating peace in the world. We
So
have,
Rudy
yes.
and Barbara, I'll be happy. The day you get your 100th member, do invite me to your club. I'll be happy to celebrate along with you.
We will let you know. That'll be great.
It's a deal. We're going to have you right there in front of us, and we're going to celebrate with you. God bless you.
Absolutely.
We have a, we wanted to let you know that we are partners with a global grant in India with the Tejas Eye Hospital outside of Surat.
Okay.
And so that's one of the global grants that our club is working on and supporting. I know there was a question in that someone wanted to know about the importance of and the value of advertising at the Rotary International level out to the public versus our clubs speaking out to our communities about what we do. Where do you think is the major issue?
I feel every Rotarian is a brand ambassador of Rotary. We have thousands and thousands of stories to tell. And we are good at telling the story, but we are good at telling it to ourselves. We need to tell it to the outside world also. It's so very important. We do, let's just thinking these borewells that I was. How about sharing those stories with our friends? To me, the best way of telling our story is when I put a short clipping on, let's say, a WhatsApp group, and 20 days later, it comes back to me from a non-Rotary WhatsApp group. Because that means it is traveled to people who are non-Rotarians. It's very important. Centrally, Rotary International should not be spending money for brand building. We cannot do that. You cannot advertise in newspapers and television. A limited shelf value for a newspaper, just one day, one language, one city. That's all, or maybe a few cities. But imagine social media; it's around the world. It's cheap, and every day you can tell a story. Newspaper, you'll be lucky if you get one story in 6 months or maybe in 1 month. And we have so many stories to tell. So please, when we do a good deed, I just saw you mentioned about that work that you do in outside Surat in that eye hospital. How about telling that story? Next time, the picture of 10 people having got their eye surgeries done, then about sharing that picture on Instagram. I think we have a great responsibility and we can make a big buzz. Please do so for all the work that you do next year on empowering girls. We need to make a buzz about empowerment.
That's great. We will add that to our focus for sure. And we've had some of that focus already, and we know that creating peace in the world with our partnership with MBBI and the training on women creating peace in the world and learning how to negotiate peace is incredible. So very powerful. Um, David Wick has a message for you. David, you can unmute yourself there from Ambassador Chowdhury.
Yes, Ambassador Chaudhry was very sad that he's not able to join you. I just wanted to send his warm greetings to you and is very excited and very much looking forward to working together as we have talked about with the Rotary and UN collaboration. So he just sent his warm greetings to you.
Thank you. Please convey the same to him. Just this morning, I was thinking that our the frequent meetings that we were having, some of us were not happening now. I was wondering what is happening to that matter. I was just remembering about Ambassador Chaudhary yesterday, and then I saw your mail coming in this morning. Thanks, David. We have to take that matter forward, all of us together.
It will be very good.
Yeah, and Ambassador Chaudhary is a great person to help us do that.
Yeah, this is great. Uh, 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 the uh, as you know, Fergal is a member of our club, Fergal McCarthy, and uh, and so we'll be working closely with him on growing peace. And we know that we're very happy that another peace center is going to happen somewhere in the Middle East or North Africa, and we're very excited about that. And want to be very supportive of that process. And also, as we move forward in a few years, for there to be one in Central or South America. So, whatever we can do to help support that initiative, please let us know.
Sure, sure. Fergal, I saw Fergal as attending this meeting. He
Hi,
too is
President.
voting. Hi, Fergal.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Fergal, you have any comments?
No, just really looking forward to President-elect Shaker's year. I think girl empowerment is a great team to go with. It's something that I think Rotary can do an awful lot on. And coincidentally, we actually have it in the peace strategy. So it's, I think it's going to be a really exciting time. And our connection with the UN as well is looking forward to strengthening that too. Yeah.
Shaker, are there any, what do you consider some of the bigger challenges that our club can help with and that going forward, Rotary International needs to take up going into the future years in the next decade?
You know, the world is full of challenges. There's no two thoughts about it. And because there are challenges, there are opportunities to be able to help people who are disadvantaged or discriminated, help people who are not strong enough to be able to help themselves. So that's one part. The other part, as far as uh, uh, I think the question was more directed towards the organization. What are the major challenges and opportunities for Rotary? Opportunities, I think, are the opportunities to be able to change life. To me, that's the biggest opportunity we have of bringing two things, changing lives, and by changing lives, bringing peace into this world. To me, that's the summation of the work of. We change lives of people by serving them. So serve, change lives, and bring peace in this world. That's what our opportunity is, and what are the challenges. Each day there is a challenge. Challenges are, to me, the biggest challenge for Rotary is, apart from polio, other impactful projects which create an impact at a national level in a country. I'm very happy to know that some clubs in the US are working to change the water system in Haiti. Now, that's what I call a great, meaningful project. Every project that we do, program that we do, small one, even a small one, definitely helps people. I agree. But what about creating that big impact by, let's say, 10 clubs working together for the next 5 years in another small African country, maybe changing their education system, bringing sanitary to their sanitation system, bringing fresh, clean drinking water to them, ensuring that every girl in that country is safe. These are various things that can be done. And it's not possible just for one club to do it, but few clubs coming together, it's absolutely possible. Scaling up, and I tell you, every lesson on scaling up I've taken from the Americans. And I really mean it. The literacy program that we have scaled up, I took a lesson from America, because I keep saying, you make that burger, and McDonald's is everywhere in the world. Let me tell you, Mumbai is in western part of India and I live in the eastern part of India. Mumbai makes something called vada pav, which is far more tasty than that burger. But we've never been able to bring it even from Mumbai to Kolkata. And the burger is everywhere in India, the McDonald's. So that's what scaling up is. And I would want you to use that ability of scaling up training in Rotary when we are doing good in this world. I have taken that lesson and used it in doing projects and programs over the last 7-8 years. That's what I've been doing here.
That's great. That's great. And I do think we need to take on these big challenges and take on the big issues. If we can wipe out polio, we can take on some even bigger issues. That's great.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The work on creating peace between India and Pakistan continues and is making some progress, I think, through Rotary and the Indus Peace Park and some other areas up there. Do you see that being able to happen between India and China? We're currently meeting with Vladivostok and St. Petersburg clubs with our club in Russia on a monthly basis, developing further relationships there, and probably will be a sponsor of a new club in Russia from our club. Do you see anything with China that we're able to grow in that region?
You know, as I said earlier also, stopping wars, stopping poor relations between two countries is political matter. I'll give you an example. When I went to Pakistan about 8-10 years back, I got the most warm welcome there. Very few countries have I received a welcome as warm as in. And then I realized we are the same people. Some people, sometime in the history, drew a line on the geography and said, you are different people, we are different people, you are a different country, we are. But actually, we are the same people. Imagine that line going off, we are the same people. We speak the same language, eat the same food, the culture is just the same. So people to people relations are amazing. I remember when I had just become the governor, I was just becoming the governor. That time, India and Pakistan were at war. The Kargil war, the last war that we fought, was there. But even as the war was going on, the Pakistan governor, Rotary governor, and I we were trying to have a peace conference. So the people-to-people relations are outstanding. And I'm sure it'll be the same with China. So we need to keep telling our governments, sharing these thoughts with them, telling them that peace is possible. But as I said, rather than try and improve the situation between India and Pakistan, I would rather go and do a few projects in Pakistan, and the Pakistanis may want to do a few projects there. To me, that is our way of bringing peace into our country. Same with China. I do hope there is more uh, Rotary in China sooner than later. I do hope. I think that will make a lot of difference. It's also about perception, it's very important. What seemed otherwise to be an enemy, when you start working with the people, you find no, these are not enemies. These are good people to work with. The perception starts. And I think it's all in the mind.
With with the climate change and the polar caps melting and rising sea levels and arid uh, uh, growth across Africa and these areas that don't have water to grow food and have agriculture, which is going to cause major migrations of people beyond the ones in conflict. How can we as Rotary look forward, be forward thinking and develop some plans on how to deal with it before it happens?
So we have the tools to mend these situations. I'll give you an example. Long time back, I was asked to look after water issues in our region. Sushil Gupta, who was a director at that time, asked me to do this. I had no clue about water issues. And then he took me to an area, one of the more dry areas in India, which is Rajasthan, where actually I come from originally. I went to Rajasthan area, western part of India, desert area, uh, rocky mountains, etc. And he showed me what a check dam is. So a check dam is when water comes, flows, and goes off, it becomes storm water, the water is wasted. Those villages in those areas get water only, the rainwater only for 2 months, outer limit 2 months. But you build a small check dam, you create a water body just as I can see behind you, Rudy. Not as beautiful, but definitely the backdrop that you are using. You create that sort of a water body there by erecting a check dam. It just takes about 200,000, 300,000 rupees, which is not too much money. It's only about $3,000. So you build a check dam, and that one check dam gives enough water, and then you put that, you create more wells, water goes into the aquifer, the water table rises, people get water in their homes. There is more water for irrigation throughout the year, more crops. More crops means lesser migration of people into the urban areas because there is enough food then for people there. Better vegetation leads to better cattle feed. Better cattle feed leads to better production of dairy products. Just one check dam creates all of this for nearly 5,000 people in the 4 or 5 villages. Now imagine what huge change just $3,000 can. And I've lived this, I've seen this. India has now, so having seen that project, I liked it so much. I've gone ahead and told the water minister of India that we are now ready to do 10% of your work. Imagine the government of India, and we are talking of the second largest country in the world for population concerned. And we have said, yes, we'll do it. I'll give you an example. And that's what I call the power of networking of Rotary. Our numbers are so huge. So the Indian government is going to put up 10,000 such 100,000 such check dams, what I mentioned to you just. 100,000 check dams in the next 6 years' time. I said, okay, we will do 10% of that. 10,000 check dams in 6 years, which means 1,666 check dams in 1 year. Divide that by 40 districts in India, and each district needs to do only 40. 40 check dams into 300,000 rupees is equivalent only to 2 global grants, which I can write by tomorrow morning. And Fergal will be nice enough to say, yes, this is going to bring peace into the lives of people, and it will get approved hopefully in the next 3 months' time. And in the next 10 months' time, we can do this. And what are we doing? If every district did this in India, we would have taken up the job of doing 10% work of the government. That, my friends, is the power of Rotary. And we have done it and shown it that we can do it by putting.
That's great. Barbara, do you have any questions or comments here?
Well, first of all, I want to say I love the enthusiasm. The way you answer these questions empowers us to go do more. And I want to thank you for that. And I love your dreams. And I want to encourage everyone, read this issue, read the March issue of the Rotarian magazine. And then I have an idea for you, Shekhar. What if we speak to non-Rotarians? What if we not only speak to our choir, but speak to people through Zoom and say, get to know your Rotary Club, have meetings in your community, open it up to people who want to come in and find out what we're doing. The fact that we've been nominated for Nobel Peace Prize is incredible. The fact that we have Rotarians who have worked hard to have shelter box, the fact that we have Rotarians in the mainstream working on wells. I just read an article about in the desert areas, Rotarians are doing nothing more than digging holes. So when the rain comes, the holes go into the rain goes into the holes and it goes into the aquifers. I mean, simple things that we can do, Shekhar, and your enthusiasm and ideas really get us moving. Like I didn't even think to have a get to know your Rotary, and we can do it on Zoom. And so people can learn about us and maybe join us and maybe go past your goal of 1,000,003, go into 1,000,005. And then last but not least, I really want to thank you for tonight. We have the enthusiasm from your talk. We have your vision, and we really want to support your idea to make Rotary part of the UN in a bigger way. And I thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Barbara, and thank you, everyone. It's great to see so many of you so dedicated towards the cause of peace. Together, let's do it. Together, we can do it.
Yes. And when you said serve to change lives, I loved that story when you said your group met and they talked about service and you said, no, serve is a verb. We are going to serve to change lives. And so with that, I welcome all of you again to join us any Tuesday night at 6:30. We have speakers that will be bringing you enthusiasm as we had tonight, and also new information. You know, we are a club of active peacemakers. God bless all of you and join us again. And thank you, Shekhar. You were incredible.
Thank you so much.
This has been an incredible evening. Thank you for joining us. Taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're on Zoom call after Zoom call. As we most are, we're zoomed out, but you're on super Zoom around the world here, and we appreciate you joining us. It means a whole lot to our club and the connections we've made, and we want to take advice from you and provide leadership in our way we can, and help support the efforts of Rotary, changing lives out there through service. And it's just a pleasure that you joined us here tonight. I know that many folks are on here tonight. We've had a lot of visitors on tonight with us. If you'd like to be on our mailing list, then please email me. I'll add you to our mailing list, and reaching out there and making connections. And when we reach 100 members here, our 100th member, you'll be with us, Shekhar, to
Yes.
help induct that person. We will sure do that. And it may not be too long in the future, but we'll make it early in your year.
Let's all
Thank you.
unmute ourselves and give him a round of applause. I just unmuted
Yay.
myself. Unmute yourself and let's thank our president.
Yes. Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
you.
It's
Thank
very
you so much.
important.
Thank you.
Shukriya and shalom from Israel.
Ah, Mark, how are you? Salam, salam.
Warm regards to Rashi.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste, namaste.
Namaste.
Namaskar.
Oh, I'm listening to different versions of Namaste, which is good.
There we go.
Vatakam
Oh,
from Tamil Nadu.
yes.
Gracias
Thank you.
from Mexico.
Gracias.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Oh, thank you, Tala. Thanks, Malika. Thank you very much. And the last thing is Fir Milenge, till we meet again.
Inshallah.
Truly.
Bye.
May peace,
Right.
may peace be with everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Peace.
Thanks.
Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Buenas noches.